And welcome back to Sports Report, where now we've got an interview with Virginia Prep's Rod Johnson as he takes a look at the upcoming football season.
Well, I think this year's class, there's going to be a lot of top prospects. The Virginia Beach area seems to be the one that, again, kind of leads the way with the most kids. Anthony Cooper from Bayside probably being the most explosive player that we'll see in the 7-5-7, a kid who, you know, anywhere he touches the ball, he can score. UVA commit Mark Hall out of Green Run, the first kid from this area to commit already, going to the University of Virginia, kind of that hybrid linebacker, tight end kind of kid. He'll be a name to keep an eye out, or a name that you definitely want to go see. Perhaps the best kid in the area, or at least the most recruited, will be Eli Harold out of Ocean Lakes High School. He's a defensive end wide receiver. Colleges are looking at him as an outside linebacker, a defensive end, a wide receiver. Total package, 6'4", long arms, 215, 20 pounds, runs a 4.4 speed kid. Just fantastic player. Alston Smith is a name that people should know, and they know his dad's name real well. He's Hall of Famer Bruce Smith's son. Plays defensive line like his dad. Probably a little raw right now, does have an offer from Virginia Tech, but is very good with his technique, as one would expect. Works with his dad quite a bit. Over in the Portsmouth area, Darion Green from Wilson High School is a kid that already has offers from Virginia and Virginia Tech. Should be an interesting recruiting battle there. Virginia Tech got in on him first, but Virginia is going to press hard, and that would be pretty interesting. Over in the Southeastern District at Chesapeake is J.C. Coleman, running back for Oscar Smith. Most people who follow high school football will have heard his name. He's been their top running back for now. This will be his third year. He'll shatter the Oscar Smith records for rushing this season, probably in the first game this year. I think he should pass that. Maybe the fastest kid in the state. Certainly one of the most dynamic. Had 10 touchdowns for over 80 yards last year. So a kid, again, like Cooper, when he touches the ball, he can go the whole way. You're looking in the Peninsula area, one of the big names playing on this field here at Darling Stadium will be Romond Deloatch, wide receiver for Phoebus High School. If you saw the state championship game last year, just before halftime, he caught a pass and went 66 yards for a touchdown. Huge kid, 6'5" and thick. Could be a wide receiver, could move into tight end, but definitely a kid that's going to get a lot of attention. And then up in the Bay Rivers area at Grafton High School, Dylan Stallings is a kid we expect to get a lot of offers here in the near future. 6'4" kid, 220 pounds, very, very athletic. Just a kid real explosive and probably the top guy up in that region or that district. I think one of the real buzz items from the class of 2012 is the fact that Norfolk Christian Academy, a private school, has 3 legitimate Division I players, 3 guys that have already received offers. First being Kwontie Moore. He's a kid that people knew about for a little bit of time now, probably a year or two. Linebacker, real explosive, built like an offensive lineman, looks great on the field, plays extremely physical. He kind of led the way for recruiters to come into that school. And when they were there, they got a look at a guy named Courtnye Wynn, who is a huge offensive lineman, goes about 6'5", 230, got a lot of room to bulk up. So he's a kid that also plays basketball, extremely athletic. So definitely one that Division I guys have already offered and are going to be chasing. And then there's a third player named Mario Nixon, athlete that's looking at maybe a safety wide receiver role. Again, has everything that the college is like. He's tall, he's very long, he runs well, he's about 6'3". So I think it's interesting that in the private schools, you usually get maybe 1 or 2 Division I players. The fact that you have 3 in the same class is a really big deal over there. When you talk football, everybody's going to look at Phoebus and Oscar Smith and even Bayside as kind of the power programs right now. I would take a look at maybe a Salem out of Virginia Beach. They've got a 2013 prospect named Bucky Hodges, who will likely be the #1 quarterback in the state, maybe in the Mid-Atlantic area next year. He's a 6'5" kid, fantastic player. You usually see that growth from the sophomore to junior year. So if he sees a big growth maturity-wise as far as reading the field, it could be a huge year for Salem. They got a lot of skill kids back and some players defensively. They're going to make them very tough to score against. So Salem is a team I look for to have a great season. And then Woodside Wolverines are a program that has been on the rise quite a bit for the last couple of years, and I don't think it's going to slow down this year. Donnell Lewis returns on both sides of the ball for them and really matured as a leader last year. So I'd look for them to make a nice run as well.
All right, our thanks to Rod Johnson for that report. And Matt, as you can see, Still a lot of talent here in the 757 when it comes to football.
I don't know what it is about this area, Chris, but year after year, just more and more young men and young women just talented. So look forward to another exciting season of football in the 757.
Well, that's going to do it for the Cox 11 Sports Report. And, Matt, it's been another fantastic season. We've seen state champions in football and basketball come from this area.
That's right, Chris. Another fun-filled year here on the Cox 11 Sports Report. I'm ready for football right now. I just can't get it out.
We'd be remiss if we didn't give thanks to some of the hardworking people here who make this show possible. We've got Dan Colley, Jack Tankersley, Old Rob the cameraman, Oscar the Grouch, Oscar also the cameraman, Andre and Michelle, and Kevin.
And you can't forget good old Stephanie.
Stephanie Sutton, who certainly makes sure all our graphics are correct every week. Well, for Matt White, I'm Chris Park. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Cox 11 Sports Report.